It was late. One of those nights where everything feels still. Some old roadside bar in Oregon, off a highway no one remembers. The kind of place where travelers pass through, but never stay. I'd been sitting there for a while, sipping whiskey, listening to that old jukebox play its sad songs.
Trying to find my way. Found myself at the crossroads.
That's when he walked in. A man, ragged and tired like the road had been chewing him up for years. He sat down beside me without a word. Didn't even look at me at first.
You ever hear about the woman who roams the highways? They say she collects stories, or maybe souls. She told me one once, and I can't forget it, no matter how much I try. She was on the road just like me, driving alone, miles stretching on like they'd never end. She never said what she was running from, but you could hear it in her voice, that quiet desperation.
He was out there, somewhere. I remember how she described him, driving down the same roads, a man in his 30s, beaten down by life. His car rattling along like it might fall apart at any moment. The radio played old blues, but he wasn't listening. He was too deep in his own head. Then his car gave up, right at a crossroads. He got out, frustrated, looked around, hoping for some sign of life. But all he found was an old well, moss-covered, ancient, and standing by it was a woman. He hadn't seen her before. It was like she appeared out of nowhere. He stepped out of the car, the silence pressing in from all sides. His car had given up on him, right there, at the crossroads.
Where did you come from? You weren't here a second ago.
She moved toward him, slow and deliberate. Her face, unreadable.
You've reached a crossroads, but this isn't just a place to choose a direction. It's where you decide who you will become.
What do you mean, who I'll become? I'm just trying to fix my car, get back on the road.
He was rattled, unsure of why her words struck a chord deep inside him. But he couldn't walk away. Something about her pulled him in.
There's more to this world than you see. The crossroads are thin places, where the veil between worlds is weak. If you want to see the truth, to truly see, you'll have to give something up.
Give something up? Like what?
He didn't know what she meant, but there was something in the way she spoke. Like she was asking him to give up more than just an object, more than just a choice.
Why do I feel like I need to do this?
She watched as he hesitated, and then, almost without thinking, he threw his wallet into the well. That's when everything changed. The air grew thick, heavy, like the world was unraveling around him. He felt it, deep in his bones.
What's happening? What did you do?
You're starting to see the truth now. The veil is lifting. You're about to understand. But once you see it, there's no going back.
See what? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
His heart pounded in his chest. Shadows began to flicker at the edges of his vision, moving, watching, like they'd been there all along, just waiting for him to notice.
No, this isn't real. It can't be real.
But it was real. The crossroads was alive with ancient power, and the woman, her face began to shift. She was no longer just one person.
What are you? Who are you?
He stared at her, but she was no longer just one person. Her face flickered, shifting in and out of focus. A maiden, a mother, an old crone. All of them. None of them. She was more than what his eyes could comprehend.
I'm what you could be, what you're meant to be. But you need to let go of who you think you are.
Let go of who I am? I don't understand.
He wanted to run, to turn back, but his feet stayed rooted to the ground. There was something right about this moment. Something inevitable.
What are you doing to me?
Showing you the truth.
The shadows grew clearer. Shapes and figures danced just beyond his reach. The veil between worlds was lifting, and for the first time, he was seeing it.
What is that?
He leaned over the well, expecting to see his reflection, but instead, something else stared back at him. A figure, dark and powerful, her eyes glowing faintly in the moonlight. A goddess.
That's me? I can feel it. Everything's different.
His hands trembled as he looked down at them. His skin felt more sensitive, his features slowly shifting. He wasn't the same anymore.
It feels right. I've been wrong this whole time.
He gazed into the well once more, and the goddess in the water stared back at him. The transformation had begun, slowly at first, but it was there, waiting to take hold. It's me. It's always been me.
You're starting to see the truth. But there's still more to become. Come with me.
He followed her deeper into the night, away from the well. The world around him had shifted, layered with the human and the fey realms, blending together in ways he couldn't have imagined.
It's
like I can see through both worlds at once. It's all here.
It's all here.
Hidden, but it's real. The world had opened up to him, and with it came a sense of power. But it was only the beginning.
This is the fey world, where rules are fluid and danger always lurks.
She led him to a marketplace hidden in the shadows of the forest. Stalls were filled with strange and wondrous items. Mirrors that reflected forgotten selves, hourglasses that ran backward, and potions that shimmered like stars. What is this place? It's beautiful.
Beautiful, yes, but dangerous. In this place, the rules are rarely spoken, but always binding. Ask before you touch, or you will pay the price.
What is this? He reached for an orb, its light drawing him in. He should have asked, but he didn't.
You've already broken the rule. The price is something of yours.
What did you take?
If you can't remember, it must not be important.
A memory. A piece of him was gone, just like that. And he didn't even know what it was. As he looked at his guide, her face changed again. Scales and the slight hiss of a snake.
You must play the games fairly, or you will lose. There will come a time when you must kiss me as a serpent. Do not fail again.
Leaving the market behind, the air around him grew thicker with magic. The trees became darker, their branches closing in like twisted fingers. She told him this place would test him, and it would. Where are we going now? What's waiting for me?
The path ahead is treacherous. This place, it speaks. It will try to pull you away, lure you back to your old life.
He heard it almost immediately, the whispering, soft but insistent. The voices were calling to him, trying to lure him from the path.
Come back.
You don't belong here.
No, I can't go back, not now. With every step, the whispers grew louder. The voices weren't just trying to guide him back. They were dragging his soul toward the past, to the man he used to be. The temptation weighed heavy on his heart. My home, how is this possible? That's my family. The sight of his childhood home, the warmth, the familiarity, it called to him. It offered comfort, but it was a lie, a trick. He could feel it in the pit of his stomach, though his heart ached to believe it. Maybe I can still go back. Maybe none of this is real. I could walk away, right now.
You don't have to be here.
You don't have to.
He took a step forward, reaching for the door. But something deep inside him screamed against it. This wasn't real. This wasn't the truth.
No, this isn't real.
It's not who I am anymore. He pushed forward, leaving the lies behind. But the toll it took was heavy. The doubts clung to him, and the path ahead felt more uncertain than ever. They reached the edge of the Fey revelry. Here, the creatures of the night danced under the moon, their movements entrancing, their laughter intoxicating.
These are the ones who embrace their power. They live in the Fey world without fear, and they invite you to join them.
Come dance with us. Come be one of us.
I want to. It feels like I'm supposed to be here. With every word they spoke, the pull became stronger. The Fey world was offering itself to him, asking him to surrender completely. And with it came the promise of freedom, but also the danger of losing himself.
Join us in the land of fate. Fairies all in gay parades. Just the every spiral dance. Take our hands and take your chance.
I feel alive. I feel like I belong here. But the revelry wasn't what it seemed. The dancers weren't inviting him to celebrate. They were drawing him in, draining his strength, pulling him deeper into their world until there was nothing left of him. No, wait, something's wrong. I can't keep going.
You gave too much. In this world, everything takes from you.
He barely escaped their grasp, but the cost was great. His strength had been drained, his power weakened. The transformation was still incomplete, and now, more than ever, he felt vulnerable. He looked for the woman from the Crossroads, but like a ghost, she had faded away into the darkness of the night. "Where are you? You said you'd be here." He searched the shadows, his heart racing, but she was gone. Instead, from the darkness, a serpent slithered toward him, its body shimmering like liquid shadow. Its eyes. Her eyes. No, this can't be. It's you, isn't it? This is you. He knew then. The serpent wasn't just a test. It was her. She had been leading him here all along, guiding him to this moment. But it wasn't what he expected. Not at all.
This is your last chance. Kiss me, or remain bound.
I don't know. What if I lose everything? What if this is just a trap? What if you bite and poison me? The serpent waited, her eyes, those same eyes pleading silently. He could feel it, the weight of this choice pressing down on him. If he kissed the serpent, he would cross over completely. But if he hesitated, and the chance would be lost. I can't do this. What if it's all wrong? The serpent lowered its head, retreating into the darkness. His chance was gone, and with it, the Crossroads woman vanished. I failed. I can't go back. But I can't go forward either. I'm stuck here. I've lost everything. He collapsed to his knees, feeling the weight of his choices closing in on him. He was trapped between worlds, no longer the man he was, but unable to become the Fey Queen she might have been. The woman had offered him the truth, and she had refused it. Maybe it's not too late. Maybe I can still change. Please, someone tell me what to do. But no answer came. The Crossroads was silent now, the woman's presence gone. He was alone. What am I now? I can't go back to the man I wasn't. And I'm not who I was supposed to become. I'm nothing. She sat at the edge of the well, staring into the void. He had given everything, but not enough. And now, he was trapped between two worlds, neither fully human nor Fey. Maybe I was never meant to be anything more. And then, in his darkest moment, something changed. The whispers that had once tried to pull him back now seemed clearer. He saw them for what they were, not illusions, but part of the world he was learning to see. He had been looking at everything wrong. Everything! It feels so far away! He sat in the silence, the weight of his failure pressing down, so thick it was hard to breathe. But something had changed. The silence wasn't empty. It wasn't waiting to swallow him. All this time, I thought I was supposed to choose one way or the other. Human or Fey. I thought I had to give something up. He looked up, and for the first time, he didn't feel the pull of the past or the weight of the choice he thought he had to make. The voices weren't calling him back. They were just there, part of the world, his world. It was never about one or the other. It's both. It's always been both. He wasn't leaving one world behind. He was embracing both. He had always been part of both. I am the Crossroads. The words were spoken, and with them the change began. It wasn't just a transformation of body. It was the claiming of an ancient, forgotten power. This is what I was meant to be, all along. I am the space between human and Fey, the flickering torch between the dog and the key. I am three selves leading back into each other. Her cloak, dark and fluid, seemed alive, woven from shadows and starlight. It moved as she moved, a constant reminder of her connection to both realms. Her body, once fragile, now radiated with a quiet strength. The cracks in her porcelain skin glowed faintly, as if the Fey magic flowed through every part of her being. The crossroads of this dark night, the spaces between, they belong to me. What are these? 3 thrones stood before her. The first, woven from flowers, full of life and potential. This was the seat of the maiden, untouched and blooming with new beginnings. The second throne, carved from bones and keys crowned by torches, exuded power. Motherly, protective, commanding. And the third throne, dark and twisted, belonged to the crone, the woman who waits at the end of all paths. The mother's throne, it feels right.
You've walked long roads to reach this place. You've shed the skin of the wanderer. But understand, you are not just this. You are more.
You're the crone and the maiden. We're all the same.
We are all the same. You are the maiden, the mother, and the crone, woven together. It was always you.
I am not just one path. I carry them all. The choices, the burdens, the life, and the endings. They're mine to bear. And with that, she understood. The Crossroads were not just a place. They were her domain. She was the one who bridged the gap between the realms, between life and death, between beginnings and ends. I am the Crossroads, the space between.
I was born one more, child of the norm. I love those old women well. For dandy and scald, would chastise me and scold. And I love matron weird as well. My all-seeing eye, borrow from the grey, showed me Morgana, flutter, weaving fate. Down the road I slip, on this old road trip. Where am I going? What mileage is showing? Does the destination merit such debate? Down the road I slip, on this old road trip. Where am I going? What mileage is showing? Does the destination merit such debate? I saw you at the chevron on the corner of May. If you knew the cross I've loaded, would things be the same? I remember how you did but can't recall my name. And down at the threshold, down at the crossroad, look into my eyes, they vanish. Encantado moros, the Spanish. Do you believe they blink the same? In the foggy, distant warm of an autumn orange morn, in the mouth of every northern morning, before the storm you will find me. I have been between the world again and then, as the dark fade queen, so was I born.
And that's how she told it. She said the wanderer met her at the crossroads, and when he looked into the well, he saw the truth. He became something else, something eternal.
So, the woman. Do you think she was talking about herself? Was she the wanderer?
Maybe she was, or maybe she's just another story, passed from person to person. A tale to keep travelers like us company on long, empty roads?
But if it's true, if she really was the wanderer, does that mean she's still out there? Wandering?
Could be. Or maybe she's looking for someone else, someone ready to see the roads the way she does. One of her thrones was empty.
The Crossroads. They could be anywhere, couldn't they? Just waiting. For someone like me. Or you. I wonder if she's still out there, waiting for the next traveler to come her way.
Going down the dusty road, minds entwine heavy loads. The weary blue soundtrack is the weight of steel upon my back. And gone are the days of the train track. If you wanna ride, honey, you gotta pack. Pack away your troubles and sell them for the miles. Throw out your thumb and wonder who can wander in such style. At every crossing find yourself, in every marker and mile. So many roads like rivers to cross, whistling all the while. Well, I went down to the crossroads and hung myself right there. I went down to the crossroads, hung myself right there. My eyesight lost to see it. When you're rooted, you can feel it. Owed and hanging, and it'll take you there. Well, I went down to the crossroads and hung myself right there. Down at the crossroad, found a spell in there. Don't look to find, you'll see that the magic is really me. Somewhere between the light there is a key to balance in and out despair. Darkness into the tomb, sway in the jungle and swoon. And as the incantation ends, my friends, it begins soon. Find me hanging on the gibbet, my dying life to live it. Taking pretty flowers bursting, thirsting to fade and die. The fairies I sing with, they cry. Oh, how wonderful this sorrowful fate, we'll call it doom.